super high.
What's going on YouTube? What's going on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all platforms? Welcome to another episode of Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts. And look, I listen to the fans, I listen to my chat, I listen to everybody, and everybody wants me to react to the Giants Life episode 2 of Dabo and Shane, New Era at the Combine. And so here we are. I'm going to react to the Giants Life episode 2. I'm going to give my takes on a couple of things that I see that's going on in the video, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun. So you guys asked for it, you're gonna get it. So let's get into it.
Did you like this guy?
I did.
Yeah, me too.
I did. So
Okay.
So when we get back, I mean, it's important for us tomorrow to go through, with the coaches in terms of their interactions with the players,
Yep.
How their interviews went, if there's any red flags on guys that we got to circle back on and make sure that we go either spend more time with them or bring them in the building, and then we'll go through, pro days where we want to send your guys,
Right.
And try to do a balance between, you guys installing the playbook, what you got to do from a coaching staff standpoint in the building, and find that balance with, who can go where and when they can go.
Right. I think I marked these 4 guys down. We got to do individual workouts with these guys.
Those 4, yeah.
So we definitely got to send, I'd say, both of the position coaches out there.
Yeah, that one for sure. We'll make sure, and again, we'll just coordinate with the coordinators in terms of when those guys can go out and
No doubt. And then these 2 in the formal interview were really good. I think let's teach them our stuff.
bring them into the building.
Yeah,
I think so
One of the
too.
30. If we can get these 2, would be good.
Because that guy's going to be in the mix at 5, and that's second round. That's a guy we could target for sure.
Yeah, and he did a good job. When he was in there with us.
Yeah.
On that formal.
Yeah, so when we get back, again, it'll be big. Just let your staff know the sooner they can, get their stuff down on pen and paper. We can go around and talk to them on the prospects and make sure, start lining up the pro days.
Yeah, and to me, if we got to go out there to, let's go out there and we'll figure out time to meet on the playbook. Let's get these guys looked at the best we can, and we'll work around that.
Yeah, exactly. And then Thursday, the free agent reports are due. So, there's going to be a lot going on next week. We had a lot to take care of as we get in the next step of the process.
All right. Anything else? You need anything else from our guys?
Nope. I think we're good. Appreciate all your coaches' work and effort. And I thought it was a good week.
Yeah, scouts did a really good job setting that stuff up.
Yeah, they really did.
It was good.
So, team effort. Yep. So, all right.
Good. Let's do it.
All right, so that was the first scene of the Giants Life, and you see Dabo and Shane talking to each other. I mean, man, you don't get more camaraderie or teamwork than that right there in that actual scene right there. They were talking about getting scouts and getting coaches sent out to these players' pro days and things like that. I just think these 2 guys are going to work well together, man. I truly believe that, man. I think we actually have a front office and a coaching staff that are on the same accord. They throw ideas off each other, and it is natural. It's not forced. It's not awkward. It is not weird. They're talking to each other because they have that relationship from working with each other at Buffalo. That's why I didn't mind Dabo as a first-time head coach, because even though they're both a first-time GM and a first-time head coach, they both have camaraderie together and they've worked together, so that gives them a little bit of an upper hand when it comes into coming into a first-time position. Am I saying this is going to be easy for them? No, I think this is one of the toughest jobs that you can have in the NFL right now because of what previously happened with the previous regimes and the end of Jerry Reese and the whole Dave Gettleman era, the whole Joe Judge, Pat Shurmur, McAdoo. It's been tough for the Giants here for the past decade, and no way are they going to come in and it's going to be easy for them. I think they know the task at hand. And I think these guys are ready to accept the challenge. And I think they're actually excited about it. They're actually wanting that challenge, which is a very good thing because, hey, you hear in the media, you hear everywhere, you hear even in New York, you hear from New York fans, man, these guys are going to fail. This job is way too hard. It's too much of a mess. And these guys are like, no, man, we're going to take this challenge and we're going to get back to New York Giants football. We're going to bring in our ideas. We're going to listen to our staff. We're going to create a good staff. We're going to create a good coaching staff. We're going to get the players in here that we want to get, and we're going to get the players in here that want to come in and win football games. So this right here just shows you a little bit of how they work with each other, and I think it's a beautiful thing, man. I think these two guys are really going to do a very good job together, man, because they pay attention to each other. They throw ideas off each other. I mean, man, they basically almost finishing each other's sentences. Yeah, we got to send guys here because I like these 4 guys. And Joe Shane's like, look, I'm going to get guys sent there so we can get a good look at your guys. You give me the report on these guys, and we'll talk it over. We'll go on the barter system about if we need to get this player for your team. You tell me the players that you want and think that fit your scheme, and we'll work on getting those players here. Dabo tells him the players. Shane gets the players. So there's a good dynamic between these two so far, man. I don't see them having any issues working together, which is a doggone good sign. For real. Let's get back into it.
The NFL draft is considered an inexact science, but the steps leading up to that facet are precise. And the first major event on the calendar is the Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. A week-long...
And yeah, I know I'm reacting this a little late. You guys told me to react to it, so I'm going to react to it. But they are at the Combine at Lucas Oil Stadium. So this is about 2 weeks old.
Showcase where prospects are put to the test and placed under a microscope. It's also an opportunity for Joe Shane and his staff to set the tone for the offseason.
All right, guys, fire away. I look at the type of guys, we talk about smart, tough, and dependable. Do they have athleticism? Do they have strength? Do they have power? As you continue to build your team over the years, that's how you're allowed to create more depth.
It's all blessed.
Did you hear what Shane said before? That man right there, Evan Neal, considered the best tackle in the draft by many. But did you hear what he said? He said he wanted tough, strong players to build depth. That's what this team hasn't had in years. Ever since the 2016 season, we haven't had depth. Even in that 2016 season, we didn't have depth. When Rodgers and Cromartie went down that playoff game, the defense fell apart. So one of the main things that he wants to build is depth, which you have to have on a roster. Look at the roster they just came from with the Bills. They had depth everywhere. They had depth at receiver. They had depth at running back. Even though the running backs weren't that great, they had depth at running back. They had depth on the offensive line when people went down. Other people came in and they stepped up. They did have a little bit of turmoil towards the end of the season where they faltered, but they got it back together during the playoffs. They had depth at cornerback, but now they need more depth at cornerback because they lost a couple of cornerbacks. So they're probably going to get a quarterback on the other side of Tre'Davious White. They may be looking at Bradbury. It hasn't been reported, but Bradbury would make sense for them there. They had very good depth at safety. And the defensive line, man, when me and Joe called one of their games, man, I said their defensive line has get his ass. And what I mean by that, everybody was always fresh coming on that defensive line. It was like 4 new fresh faces, 5 new fresh faces was coming at you on first, second, and third down. They had major depth on that team, and that's going to really help us in the long run. And you see the moves that they're doing now. They're getting depth pieces now in free agency. And I think they're going to draft accordingly. And I think they're going to draft the people that they feel is going to turn into prime players for them. And free agency, don't look for them to make the major splashes in free agency like everybody wants. I think during free agency, during their period, during their tenure here, they're going to get a lot of depth pieces in free agency. And maybe that one guy they think that could take them over the top, like a Stephon Diggs or someone like that. So depth is a major, major, major thing to Joe Shane. And I believe he's going to do it. I think he's already doing it now. Look at our defensive line now. We got Jahai Ward, Ellis, Dexter Lawrence, Leo, Ojulari, Roche, Ellerson Smith, even O'Shane Zimenez is still here. I mean, man, we got a lot of depth. I think they're going to get more depth in the draft. Look at our offensive line. They've signed 5 offensive linemen so far. So, I mean, I think they're going to draft like 2 or 3 more. So, and definitely undrafted free agency. I think they bring in even more. They're going to build depth on this team. And when you have depth, that means you have competition. So let the best man win. I believe this is going to be one of the most competitive off seasons, training camps, and preseasons in a long time for the New York Giants. So depth is a major thing to Joe Schoen, and I could just clap for that because we need depth, and everybody knows it. So let's continue on.
So no glory in the trenches. You know, you kind of got to be a blue-collar worker.
You know, I got family in New York and New Jersey, so good environment for me. I feel like I fit right in.
I think they love this guy here, Ike Ekwonu. I think they love this guy here. They also have reports of loving Cross's pass blocking ability. I think he's the best pass blocker in the draft, but this is the biggest road grader in the draft by far, and I think they like this kid. I can actually see a scenario where we get Icky at 5 and if Cross there is at 7, they may take Cross and move Icky to left guard. We'll see. I mean, man, you don't know what this regime is going to do. All you know is that they're going to do what's best for the New York Giants and what they feel is best for the New York Giants. Doesn't matter what position, it doesn't matter what coach, it doesn't matter what free agent. They're going to do what's best for the New York Giants, and they're going to make some moves that are going to make some people mad. And I'm not going to lie to you. They've already done it. But I think they're going to do what's best for this organization. But Ike Ekwonu right there.
On the field, I think it's just a switch you got to have to play football.
In terms of 5 offensive linemen, they all got to be working together and in sync.
So what do you look for in an edge rusher?
Guys that can affect the quarterback.
I like Brian Daboll's personality, man. He's a fun guy to be around, I think, man. I think he's a pretty fun guy to be around. Let's just hope that he can always flip that switch and be serious when he needs to be serious and get these guys whipped into shape to play some damn good Giants football. There goes Aiden Hutchinson.
I'm a very good football player, and I'm a guy who's very confident in my ability.
You know, I've talked to the Giants. We had a great interview. They were kind of on me. You know, they were giving me a hard time, but you know, I feel like it was like that big brother moment where they give you a hard time because they're interested in you and they like you. So.
Let's talk about that Thibodeau interview a little bit. I think they were tough on him because of what he did. When you tell somebody that you're going to do something, you need to come in and do it. When Thibodeau told everybody that he was going to run the 40 and do all the drills and do the whole complete combine, and after he runs his 40, they see you putting on sweats and your sweatshirt, and you're not going to do any drills. That's a bad look. And they've already questioned his heart on the field. What I mean by his heart, his drive to play against the run. He looks disinterested at times. Is he the best pass rusher in this draft? I believe so. I believe he's the absolute best pass rusher in this draft. Classified 3F with Joe will tell you that as well. If you need a third down edge rusher, he's the best guy, and it's not even close. But you heard what Joe Schoen and Daboll like. They like smart, tough, and dependable. Can this guy be dependable? Was that a smart move that he did to say one thing and then not do it, knowing that they're already questioning your passion for the game? Was that a smart decision? Is he tough? For sure. But those other 2 words come into question when you do things like that. Are you dependable? Well, you told me that you were going to work out. You told me that you were going to showcase your abilities here. But you didn't do it. So basically, they're going to say, well, you lied to us. You came and said that you wanted to work out, but you didn't work out. So is that dependable? I have to say a red X. Was it smart? Now, if I know that during the offseason or however it came up to be, fair or not, they're questioning my heart about the game. They're questioning that I don't give it my all every play. I'm only really giving it my all when I can rush the quarterback. I'm not giving it my all when it comes to stopping a run or stopping an RPO, or if I got to back off in coverage. I'm not with that. I want the flash. That's basically what they're saying, that he wants the flash. He wants to get the sack stats. That's all he cares about. Fair or not, I say there's a little bit of truth to that, but I think he does care about football very much, and I think he's a tough kid. But was that smart to do that? No, it wasn't. The smart thing would have been, if you didn't want to work out, just tell him that you're not going to work out. Tell him I'm going to run my 40, and then I'm done. They would have had to do nothing but respect that. But you told them that you were going to work out. Point blank, period. Simple. You said I'm going to come run my 40, and I'm going to do all the drills. And then you turn around and you don't do that. So that means you're not dependable. And that was not a very smart move. You're tough, but dependable and smart, that's coming into question. So they say they want smart, tough, and dependable individuals. He's missing 2. If you want to judge it off what he just did at the combine. So could that take Kayvon Thibodeau off their board? If he's sitting there at 5 and they say they want smart, tough, and dependable. Smart and dependable are very in question with Kayvon Thibodeau. Maybe that's why they put him through that extensive interview process. Just a little observation, I believe, to go on with that. But, I mean, this is about the Giants Life episode. This is not about Kayvon Thibodeau. But I think that was just a good point to bring up right there. They said they want smart, tough, and dependable. It was not very smart to tell them that you were going to work out and you didn't. So that puts a little red X, a little asterisk by the smart and dependable. If you tell me that you're going to do something, do it. And in this case, he didn't do it. So that's an asterisk by dependable. He's tough, but he's missing 2 of the 3 words that they're looking for. So maybe that takes him off their draft board. I don't know. You guys tell me.
The fact that we're back here at the Combine, we get those 45 interviews where you get them for 20 minutes, get in front of the kids and talk to them. That's definitely a priority of mine, to get around as many players as I can.
Investing in a player through the draft is a significant commitment. That's why the interview may be one of the most valuable tools in reviewing a prospect. Much like the game of football, it's a chance for both parties to get a strong read on one another. Every movement, every response could reveal a critical detail and add another layer to the draft process.
One of the main goals for our staff, coaching and personnel, is an opportunity to get around the kids. We can interview them, we watch film with them, we can clean up any questions we have from the fall that we may have on the prospects. And again, it's the coach's first exposure to the players.
Talk to me. Everything you see on this film, I want formation, alignment, assignment, technique, what you read, and all that. It's play. Just go through it, coach me up on it.
Just seeing this right here, I think we're in a better situation. Obviously, this is one of the kids that they interviewed at the Combine. And the way they have this set up, do you guys believe that Dave Gettleman and them had this set up like this and they were asking them about plays and things on the TV screen? I don't know if they were doing this. I'll be honest with you. I think they just had a kid come in an interview. They asked him a couple of questions. He answered and left. But this right here is extensive to me. This right here is what I would love to be doing. Putting some plays up on the screen and asking a kid to tell me what is going on in this play, how would you react to this play, and what would you do if you seen this play, defensive or offensively. I think this is how you really tell the kids that are actually in tune with the game, that are actual students of the game, and between the guys that are just great athletes who you would have to make a scheme around them, around what they do, because they cannot process it like the other guys. And the way I'm trying to explain it is, if you have somebody that's a extreme burner, and all he did in college was just run streak routes. He ran a couple of posts, but he ran a couple of drags. But he doesn't know why he's running those drags, and he doesn't know why they keep putting him on deep routes. That's the type of guy that you're going to have to create a whole system around and just let him run. Now, you can afford to have a couple of players like that if you have a well-built foundation team and you have a well-built quarterback that really knows the game. You can have players like that. But if you don't have the quarterback that's just astronomical on the field as far as smarts, and you don't have that foundation of a team, I don't think you could afford players like that, because they don't really know what they're doing. They're just athletic, and they just can make a play here and there. You tell them to run, they run. Unfortunately, we're not in a position to grab players like that. We actually need the players that actually know the game. The reason why he's going to run a drag route right here, because they're in a cover 3 and we're trying to get a quick first down with 5 yards. We're going to hit you on that quick drag, get you a block, and you can get the easy first down. We need the guys that know that the reason why he's on the streak route is to clear it out for everybody. We need those guys. We need the offensive linemen that know the whole blocking system, the whole zone blocking system. Show him film of a zone blocking system, and he tells us the reason why they're doing it and the reason why he has to get shade in front of this lineman to stop him from penetrating, to grab our running back to where he can get to the outside zone and may be able to cut back if I block him well enough. He needs to know that I have to chip this defensive tackle before I go to the second level or try to block the linebacker, because the running back is going to have to cut back into the A gap or the C gap or whichever gap they're trying to get to. And I think they're going to find these players, man. This process right here is dope. You can see John Mara, Brown, Dabo, and Shane. And I think this process here is dope. And you see that everybody's in tune with each other here. Everybody's got their notepads out. You got the coach sitting here, whatever position this guy is, that may be the coach with the clicker right there, showing him the play. And I believe this process is necessary, and I don't think that we were doing this with the past regime. Can anybody really believe that Dave Gettleman and Joe Judge and Jason Garrett were doing this? No. I believe this is how good organizations are ran, to be honest with you. And this is dope right here, man. But let's continue on. But I think this is the way that they should be doing it. And it's amazing to see, man. Wish I was in that room for real.
You're always trying to infuse good young players into your program, and getting to know them is critical.
You say you're pretty gritty. There's 3 words we covered here, Giants. They're all important to us. I'm sure they're important to you, but I want you to rank in order of importance to you. Smart, tough, dependable. You know, what do you like best?
You see what I'm saying? Smart, tough, dependable. I think Thibodeau was missing on two of those words. So does that take Thibodeau off your draft board? I know a lot of guys are not going to like it. But if he's missing 2 of those words, that's less than 50% of what you want. That's only 33% of what you want. Is that toughness going to be able to trump those other 2 words with Kayvon Thibodeau? So here's what I'm setting you up for, folks. If Kayvon Thibodeau's at 5 and they still have questions about those other 2 words, don't be surprised if they pass on them. I know it's going to piss a lot of Giants fans off. I know it is, bro. But don't be surprised if they pass on him, if he's missing 2 of those 3 main words that they want. Smart, tough, dependable. It was not smart for him not to work out and tell everybody he was going to work out. And that proves that you're not dependable, because you're not sticking to your word. He's tough, but that smart and dependable might come into play during the draft process. Just saying.
About football. There's no right or wrong answer. I want the answer that you feel best about. Okay, what's your least favorite thing about it?
20 minutes in a formal setting with 45 prospects to find out, what they know about football, what they recall. We'll ask them some random questions to try to find out who they are, but really just trying to get to know, what their football knowledge is, while also trying to sprinkle in some questions to get to know who they are as people.
It's not a lot of time, but it's a good start, and you have fun with the interviews. You kind of see their personality a little bit, find out what they know in terms of their scheme, and then you got to do a lot more work from now until end of April here.
Man, great draft process right there, man. Just to be in that room, man, would be absolutely dope. Just to be a scout would be absolutely dope, man. We can dream, though.
And that work is spread across the board. Not only has Brian Dable assembled a deep roster of evaluators to lean on, but the same could be said for Joe Schoen, who has his own right-hand man.
Hi, I'm Brandon Brown, Assistant General Manager with the New York Giants. The combine is part of the process where you get to meet them, get your hands on them for the first time, and then just obviously see them move around and see how they have progressed on, call it the marathon, to the draft. I take very big emphasis on getting to know these players better, understanding what is their why, what has gotten them from point A to this point. Everyone has a different path, and you need to understand, what drives them, what motivates them, and what's going to keep them hungry when they get to the NFL. This is a part of a job interview for them. Their body of work is what they've done on the field, and then how they present themselves to an organization. In the interview process, I'm looking for the non-scripted answers. Every player is prepped at this point to a certain degree of, what are the possible hot button questions they may get, maybe some past transgressions that may pop up. For me, it's, how are they on their feet? What is their recall from what they did in the season, from missed assignments to high-level execution? What kind of accountability do they have for their actions? And then when we talk about these past transgressions, how have they grown? Is it just wordplay, or is there actual growth in terms of actions from it? And then taking that into the picture of, okay, is this person fitting what we want in our organization as key players? And when I say key players, is everyone has a role, and can they satisfy their role on the field and then in the building and in the community?
The combine is...
All right, that was a lot of Mr. Brandon Brown, our new assistant GM we got for the Eagles. Eagles fans were not happy about it. They talk about his role a little bit right here, and I'll be honest with you, he has a huge role, man. And I think he's very good at what he does as well. This is a great opportunity for him, and I'll be honest with you, I don't see him being an assistant GM for too long with us, unless he just says, hey, look, I just want to be here and I want to be a part of this. I see him as a future GM very soon in this league. I may be wrong, but I just get that feeling from this guy. He's very smart. He's very thorough. And I think he's going to be a very good asset to Joe Schoen for as long as they can keep him here. Because I'll be honest with you, man, I think he's going to spread his wings and fly. Eagles reference. But I think he's going to be a GM within the next 2, maybe 3 years at the most. This guy's phenomenal in evaluating talent, especially on the offensive line. They bringing him in here. I believe that they're going to make him work on a lot of these players' character, how they handle situations, how they handle adversity. He's going to get the ins and outs about the actual player. He's going to look at for behaviors. He's going to look for tendencies, and he's going to look for if this guy can actually fit what we do here as a culture. I know you guys don't want to hear that word, culture, but I think that's what he's brought here for. He's going to get the players. They're going to find some players. Dable's going to find a player. Joe Schoen's going to get the ins and outs about him. They're going to send him to Brown to see where his head's at. Can he fit the scheme? That's what Dable's going to look about it. Shane's going to look about it as far as team fit. What in the future can we do? Will we be able to hold them in the future and hold organizational things? And I think Brown is going to be like the evaluator. Where is his head at? How does he act in the community? Like he said, how does he act on the field? Is this a guy that can cause us penalties? Is this a guy that's undisciplined? Is this a guy that won't be able to learn the scheme? Is this a guy that's willing to come in and learn the scheme? Maybe he did a certain thing over at Rutgers, but coming here is a little bit different. Does he have the mindset, the switch, to hit that switch and be like, okay, I need to do this way. I used to do it like this at Rutgers, but with the Giants, I'm going to have to do it this way. I'm going to have to block this way. I believe they have a damn good team assembled this time. I'm not going to be I'm not going to hold you, man. I think they have a very, very good team that they've assembled this time. But time will tell. I'm not going to say that these guys are going to take us to a Super Bowl immediately and all that crazy stuff. I'm not setting myself up for failure this year. But I do think that we will see a different Giants team. We won't see the crap that we saw last year with this regime. The first year, we may be going through some growing pains. We may be figuring each other out because you won't know until you're in action. When you're in action, that's when you're going to find out if everything's working right and who works good with who and what works good with this and what works good with that. But I think this team, man, I think they're going to pull it together. And I think, man, we got one heck of a team between Dabo, Shane, and Brown. They've already worked on getting the offensive line here. And it's going to be competing, man. It's going to be a lot of competing this season. And I really think these guys are going to hit on this draft. It may be some players that we never thought about. I mean, we've came up to here, the Big Blue Crew. We've came up with so many scenarios. It's not funny. But, man, they may choose a player that we don't even know about and have to study up on them. Man, these guys are doing extensive research. Man, they're doing their due diligence, man. I can see it in his face. The guy's tired because he's probably been working nonstop. Just going to be honest with you. We going to see, man. There's going to be, man, look, bro. Me and Joel have been talking about it. We've been getting bashed. And I know they're going to get bashed. But, man, you may see a mostly defensive draft. Or you may see a receiver at number 7. You don't know what these guys are going to do. And that's what's making it so exciting. As much as you don't like it, that's what's making it so exciting. Because we don't know what Dabo and Shane have planned. The best thing that you can say right now is they're going to go best player available for this upcoming draft. And I think all 3 of these guys are going to have say-so on what players are picked, what players come here. They're doing extensive interviews. You see them at the pro days. We haven't seen this much interaction from our GM, our front staff, and our coach in a long freaking time. And it's exciting to see. But get to know this guy, A.J. Brown. He may be here 2 or 3 years. But, man, I don't see him being a assistant GM for long. I'm just going to be honest with you. The dude is bright. And I think he has GM potential written all over him, man. For real.
Isn't just about analyzing potential future playmakers. It's also a chance to build chemistry between the coaching staff and front office. That's key when it comes to constructing a roster and pinpointing prospects that are an ideal fit for Big Blue. It's why Brandon Brown is studying up on the coaches as much as the players.
There's certain events in the calendar that allow us to all be on the same page, whether it's, the All-Star game period, whether it's the combine, whether it's pre-draft workouts, and we get to learn each other's styles, right? There's one thing to understand what is called for in the scheme, but then seeing the application, seeing how coaches run these interviews, seeing what's the high-level importance for them, and then that's what we like to call how to find players within the margin.
Hey, man, look at Wink there, man. Wink just ready to get to it, man. I think Wink ready to go get after the quarterback. Wink in the room, man. Give me a dog, and I'll work with him. I'll get him trained. No offense to anybody in the NFL or anything. I mean, that's just basically what it is. Give me some dogs, and I'll get them trained, and I'll get after the quarterback. But I think this guy's the master evaluator of this staff. He's evaluating the staff throughout the season. He's evaluating the players throughout the season. This guy's going to be the one that comes to Shane to be like, hey, look, this guy right here, man, his head's not right. We may need to get rid of him. Or, hey, look, this coaching staff, hey, look, a couple of these coaches, they're not putting their all into it the way they're supposed to. A couple of position coaches. So if you see a position coach change, it's probably because he was advised by Brown to make that change. I think this guy's going to be evaluating this whole organization from top to bottom. And you need guys like that on your team, especially in the NFL, because everybody has to be evaluated at all times. At all times. And I think Joe Shane's a smart enough guy to have someone there to evaluate him at all times. I mean, man, organizations, man, people don't know, man. That stuff is hard to run. It's very hard to run. It's very stressful. Yes, the money is good, but that's a very stressful job. You got to perform. You got to produce. You got to watch your back. You got to watch out for other people. You got to watch out, man. It's crazy, man. But I think this guy's going to do a damn good job at evaluating this whole roster and this whole organization, period, as far as the coaches all the way up to Mara. I think this guy, man, he's not going to be here for long, man. Not saying it in a bad way. I'm saying that he's going to be a GM soon, for real.
It's finding, hey, what did this guy do really well that can be emphasized in this scheme, and what are his warts that won't show up as much for us that may be for another team. And you know, we keep that information close to the vest, and as we go through and check boxes, we figure out which guys are our guys, which guys are New York Giants.
We are back in business in the 317, the crossroads of America, for the NFL Scouting Combine.
Start. This is the music they're gonna play?
Yeah, they should give them walk-up music.
Biggie or Tupac or something.
Yeah, that's the scene everybody is talking about. Dabo and Shane talking with each other. I think they have a very good relationship, man. I think they have a very good business relationship. I think they throw ideas off each other. I believe they totally respect each other as far as a coach and as far as a GM. I think these guys are going to work well together for us. Hopefully it pans out.
Oh, here we go.
This is his type of route.
That's the guy we like.
Run, buddy, run.
A lot of pressure down there.
This one's a good one to watch. Watch their hand placement.
There you go. Good.
Keep an eye on them through
Jermaine Johnson right there.
Ran pretty good through there. When you want me to kind of give you targeted guys to...
Every time.
Anytime?
Yep. This guy, you just got to do something different with.
Oh, don't step on it. Ooh.
Different body type.
Good football player, though.
Who's that guy?
It's the guy I've been telling you about. You used to be able to hear a pin drop when they were running.
No doubt about it.
Me and Cowden used to go down there and throw this.
Yeah?
For about 7-8 years.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually the Giants' old tight end coach.
Pope?
Yeah. He was like yelling, throw it earlier, throw it earlier. I haven't thrown a ball in 6 months.
Combine leads us into the spring, which is pro days, private workouts. So that's kind of the next step, followed by April, which is where, you know, we'll really dig in with the coaches on the prospects that we give them, get their thoughts on them. You know, we'll also let them know what the personnel department thinks, and just any unanswered questions we have, we'll really utilize March to go out and get around the prospects and get those questions answered. He's a guy we like. He's like a good, like, all-around player.
Pope would be yelling his stuff on this one.
Run, faster. Final decision.
I like both of them.
Yeah, actually, Pope was a very good tight ends coach for us as well. Shout out to Pope.
Smart, tough, dependable. There's a calendar here between now and the draft where, you know, our coaches will be out with the, you know, with the scouts looking at pro days or individual workouts, and it happens quick.
All right, so that's the end of the Giants Life episode 2. I think that was pretty cool, man. I liked it. I liked the episode. The episode was pretty cool, man. Not gonna lie to you. But I think we've built a very, 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 very good staff here. I think we built a very good staff here, man. And I think there's no way that these guys don't get it back on track for us, man. It's been too long, man. It's been too long, man, and they work too well together. Dabo, Brown, and Shane, they're really gonna get things put together here. As long as Mara stays out the way. I know Mara's been talking lately. He just needs to be quiet, calm down. I know you feel bad about how you ran the organization lately. You can feel bad, but be quiet. Let these guys work. You've hired a damn good staff, Mara. About time you did it, but you've hired a damn good staff. Just chill. Just hush. Just hush. Don't say nothing else. Write the check. Cut the check. That's it. Cut the check. Point blank period. Just cut the check, bro. And leave it at that. You're good. You don't have to feel sad. You don't have to feel bad. Everybody knows what went on. Everybody knows your mistakes. People make mistakes. You don't have to come out and apologize every damn time and tell us that we're not going to get rid of players because you've done them wrong and you want to see what they can do. If you want to do that, just hush. Just keep it quiet. Don't ruin what these guys are trying to do by you opening up your mouth, and now you're giving people leverage against them. Just hush. Don't say nothing. Just be quiet. You don't have to talk, bro. Let your staff handle it. Let Shane Dabo and Brown get the players here. Let a real culture be built. And let's get some ballers in here. Let get Wink some dogs. Let them send them at that quarterback. Just hush. That's all you got to do. And watch your people work for you. Cut the check. Don't say a damn thing. And collect. And let's see if these guys can take us and get our 5th Super Bowl. Let's see. Let's see if we're in that conversation in 3 to 4 years. But other than running your mouth, I think you're doing a pretty good job. You gave them carte blanche. Let them have carte blanche. Let them have their say-so. Let them do their job. John Mara, just hush. Don't say a word. Cut the check. That's all you got to do, bro. But this has been Big Pat Sports Talk reacted to Giant Life episode 2. Thank you guys for watching. For all of you who are still here, shout out to the new coaching staff. Shout out to the new organization, just the new front office, the new GM, new assistant. Shout out to all those guys, man. I see the excitement that you guys are getting. That was actually my first time actually watching that all the way through. Thank you guys for telling me to react to it. You know, I'm gonna bring it to you. You guys asked for it. I'm gonna make doggone sure that we get it to you. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you get more notifications, so you get more Big Pat Sports Talk reacts. Also, if you want to talk your talk with Big Pat Sports Talk, hit that join button as well. And stand out from the crowd and talk your talk. Because Big Pat Sports Talk is always here to listen. You know I'm going to talk my talk no matter what you thought. So you might as well do it too. Hit that join button, become a member, and get exclusive perks coming here soon with Big Pat Sports Talk. But until the next Big Pat Sports Talk reacts, peace. This has been a Big Blue Crew production.